Hello, welcome to the Ultimate Video Storytelling course. My name is Andrew St. Pierre White. I'm going to be your teacher for the next 36 to 38 lessons, and I'm going to teach you about telling stories with video. Why is telling stories so important? Well, because if you think about it, every single video that you have ever enjoyed in your entire life, apart from a cat falling off a cupboard, there's a story behind it. And any video you watch, even a cat falling off a cupboard, if the cat falling off the cupboard has reference, in other words, there's something referenced to it, like it's owned by a small child, or so you start feeling something for the cat, then it makes falling off the cupboard funnier or more interesting, and you feel more. I'm waffling. The principle here is this, that you could go out and capture the most amazing footage with your camera. You could be the world's best camera operator. The moment you look at that footage and you want to share it with somebody else, often that's a stumbling block. Often that's are these just a collection of great shots? Or is there a story? Or am I trying to tell a story? Great videos, great films have a great story. It's the bottom line. So that's why you're here. I'm hoping that's why you're here. You're here because you want to understand the process of video, filming video, and molding it like clay into something that somebody can appreciate. You can get the best clay in the world. You can say, this is the great Italian clay, and look how beautiful it is. And it's all, and this is so gorgeous to work with, and it's so easy to work with, and it's fantastic clay. It's the best clay in the world. It's just clay. Nobody cares about clay until it's turned into a beautiful pot that they can feel and touch, and the light hits it, and they put flowers in it, or put cactuses in it, or plants, or put it in a beautiful... Now the clay has meaning. It's exactly the same with videos and video footage. It's exactly the same. You can appreciate, sure, the clay, the picture, that beautiful drone shot, which is just, but it doesn't make you feel anything. When you see that final pot, that final vase, that final creation in its position, you can say, what an artist. What a beautiful thing that is. A human has taken this clay and turned it into something so enchanting, beautiful, rewarding. Video storytelling is exactly the same. It's absolutely exactly the same. So what I'm going to teach you now in these lessons is how to, I'm going to talk a bit about cameras and camera equipment. I am, because some pieces of equipment are better for certain types of storytelling than others. So I am going to include equipment, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on equipment. None of my courses do I spend a lot of time on equipment, because I believe that there is so much information about equipment and so little out there about the creative process. So this course is mainly creative, but I'm going to help you try and, so you get the best equipment, not the most expensive equipment, and not all the gadgets. The best equipment for the kind of story you want to tell without spending stupid money on unnecessary stuff. Then I'm going to start talking about actually capturing images. Why would you capture an image in a certain way? It's all very well saying, well, how do I move the camera, and how do I do certain things with cameras? I'm going to go one step further than that. I'm going to say, well, why would you want to move the camera? So not only I'll teach you how to move the camera, I'll teach you how to move it well, so that the story takes precedent. So the last thing you want in a video or any kind of story, it's like the pot. You don't want to see fingerprints in it. You don't want to actually have a thumbprint in the middle of this beautiful pot. Because what the thumbprint is saying is, there's the artist, there's the photographer, there's the... It's same in film. If you do too many gadgety, fancy things, you're saying to your audience, hey, this is a cameraman doing clever things. That's the last thing you want. Images should be invisible. It's not, it's like all of these funny effects that you can get with packages of editing software. All they do is say, hey, I'm a computer, look how clever I am. It detracts from the message. It detracts from the story. A fingerprint would severely detract from the beauty of a beautiful pot. Well, that's the exact equivalent with video filmmaking. Those things that say, I'm a camera, I'm a drone, I'm a camera operator being smart, I've got some clever software, detract from the message. It's the same as a fingerprint. So I'm going to teach you how to avoid those, because some are less obvious than others. I'm going to get quite detailed, but I'm never going to get too technical. I don't particularly think that camera reviewers that go into color science and deeply into bit rates, and actually I feel so often that they are compensating for a lack of creative something, that they spend so much time on the technical side worrying about technical things, when actually what they should be worrying about is creating things. So I'm a strong believer in the mantra that says professionals worry about money, artists worry about light and sound, and amateurs worry about equipment. And what I mean by equipment is cameras and all of the technical things that go with them. They detract. Any reasonably good camera will do at the end of the day. So again, the course that you're about to do is mostly creative. I have, where I have felt it's needed, helped with equipment and technical stuff, where I felt it was important to know. If I haven't mentioned it, it's because I do not believe it is important to know. So I haven't fluffed up the course with lots of technical stuff, because I don't think it's important. If you want to tell stories, it's not important. If you want to muck about with cameras, maybe this isn't the greatest course for you. If you just want to muck about with cameras. If you want to tell stories, you've come to the very best place. I will teach you how I've been doing it for the last 38 years. Welcome to this course. I hope you love it. Hello. You find me in my little studio. Excuse me while I put my microphone, my shirt. If I don't use this kind of microphone, things tend to get a little bit echoey in here. So these are called lapel or lavalier microphones. And I've got it wired to the camera, which is over there. And welcome to Video for Beginners. Let me tell you very quickly about myself and why I love teaching. My passion is videography, filmmaking and storytelling. I've been a professional filmmaker for 40 plus years. I live in Western Australia. I did live in Africa, South Africa for quite a while. I lived in England for a while. And I, on Udemy, I think for now, this is my 5th course that I've done on Udemy, filmmaking course I've done on Udemy. And I decided to go directly for the beginners, because a lot of my courses are, I wouldn't say advanced, but certainly intermediate. And I thought that I've been looking for a good video for beginner course, a really good one, really. And maybe I haven't looked very hard, but I can't find good ones, because they focus so much on the equipment, on the technical side. There's so much technical stuff that you can know, but you don't need to know about video. I had a guy just not long ago, one of the students, asking me about bit rates and mobile phones. And my reaction was, who cares? Now, these people, I call them pixel counters, and I'm a bit hard on them really. What they're people that would love to make videos, but are so scared of the creative process, because the creative process is far more difficult than reading from books and understanding what a bit rate and a frame rate is. So they kind of mask their frustration of not being able to go out there and make and tell stories, because they find that so difficult, and they find the learning so easy, so that I can find out about cameras and f-stops, and they start counting pixels. This camera is much better than that. Oh, that lens is because that camera does a blah, 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 blah. And they give all of this. It might be factual, but it is unnecessary. I replied to him and I said, really, it doesn't matter unless your bit rates don't really matter. I mean, they do a bit, but they don't really matter unless you're filming for Marvel or IMAX, where bit rates, video separation 400, 422, 444, all of these color separation things, you, as a beginner, don't need to know. So I'm not going to tell you. Thank me now for that. What I am going to tell you, what I'm going to teach you, is how to tell a story. How to pick up a camera. You do need to know some physical stuff about how it works, what certain things do, and what will the result be of you doing certain things. You're going to need those things. Frame rates, for example. I'll explain frame rates, and I'll be a bit technical at times, but I'm only going to be technical where these are things that you must know, that you're going to need to know. Then when you're going and you're making movies, you're making films, and you're loving it, you can start then digging into the more interesting technical sides, because then you'll be able to discern, well, I don't need to know that, but that's really valuable. So we're going to start now. We're going to start right now. First thing I want you to do as a student on this course is make a decision. What kind of films do you want to make? Reason for this is that I want you to use your imagination. Start imagining the film that you would like to make. So if you have a film or films or series of films, but even better than that, a story or stories that you want to tell, the instant you have a story that you want to tell, you will be motivated to understand this process and go out and do it. Because I don't like receiving comments from, and I don't get a lot of them. I don't. Messages from students asking me about inane things like bit rates. If you want to know about bit rates, Google it. You'll learn about bit rates. Don't ask me. Ask me about eye lines, capturing the moment, B-roll footage. What is B-roll footage? Storytelling. Ask me about storytelling. Then I get excited, because I know that my pupils, my students, are actually sucking up what I'm trying to teach them. Go out now, decide what movies and stories you want to tell, and write them down somewhere. Write them down somewhere where you can find them, doesn't matter where. Where you can find them, and every now and again, motivate yourself by saying, that's the story I want to tell, and I still want to tell it. And what will happen? Excuse me, it's morning. I've just had breakfast. My studio is in my home. The moment you do that, then you'll get a bit of inspiration from this course or any of the other courses that I do, and you'll suddenly go, hey, you know what? And you can start making notes and start getting excited and being inspired. What films do you want to make? What stories do you want to tell? That's the end of lesson 1. It's as simple as that. See you next time. This is the part of the course that I enjoy teaching the most. And the title of this particular lesson is Moving the Camera. And the first thing I have to say about moving a camera is don't move the camera. Now, those of you who have just started with video, this might seem, what are you talking about? It's video. The whole point of video is that we move the camera. Not really. What I'm going to show you now is I've recently finished a series of programs, adventure travel programs, filmed in Africa. And one of the episodes is a lovely example of lots of different situations that we were filming, lots of B-roll, lots of stories happening right in front of us that we had to just pick up the camera and just shoot and fire because things were happening right there and then. And I want to pick out every shot. And I'm going to run it. I'm going to run the first half of it. So it's going to be about 15 minutes. And I want to run it for you, normal time. So you can, I'm going to point out when the camera was moving. Now, when I say camera moving, I'm talking about the moment I take the camera and I do this with it. Okay, I'm filming and I do this, or I do this. Okay. Sometimes it's moving because I'm actually holding it and I'm pointing it towards myself. So in other words, the subject is not moving at all. I'm not going to count those as moving cameras because I'm walking with the camera. Yes, the camera is moving, but the subject is staying stationary in the frame. Where the subject is not staying stationary in the frame. In other words, if somebody's walking and I'm following them, then actually my subject isn't actually moving. I might be panning the camera, but my subject is staying in the frame. Okay? I'll point out every time that I actually move the camera. There are not very many of them. The entire thing is actually made up of shots, even when there's lots of things happening. Shots where the camera is just there. And everything's happening in the frame. I'm hoping that this will open your eyes to how unnecessary it is so many times to move the camera. And most of the time, it's much better if you don't move it at all. Lake Kariba is the world's largest man-made lake and reservoir by volume. It's over 220 kilometers long, up to 40 kilometers wide, and covers an area of 5,580 square kilometers. The enormous mass of water, about 200 billion tons, is known to have caused over 20 earthquakes since it was filled between 1958 and 1963. Our drive to Kariba town will take us halfway across Zimbabwe, beginning at the town of Hwange. It will take us 3 days. Topping up fuel at Hwange. We have about 700 kilometers of pretty rough track ahead of us. So we're kind of fairly close to the limits, well, close to the limits of the vehicle's own tanks, but with the jerry cans on top, that's our insurance if the roads get really bad. Most of the day slips away by the time we reach our camping spot on the shores of Lake Kariba. One of the absolute delights of this kind of travel is that you never know where you're going to end up. I said it again and again, and I will continue to say it. And look at this amazing, amazing place that we've found for ourselves to camp tonight. Beautiful, beautiful spot. The campsite and lodge is called Chilila. There's nobody here. They opened up the chalet for us so that we could use the bathroom and the hot water. And I just found the flattest bit of lawn I could find to put my tent. But the chalet is a time capsule from the heyday of the 1970s and perhaps even as late as the 80s. Let's go and take a look. Can't see any light switches. Oh, yeah, here you go. Let's try these.
Born free as the wind blows, as free as the grass grows, born free to follow your heart. Live free, and beauty surrounds you.
It's a beauty. It's almost a collector's item. It's so ugly.
You each time.
Right, do I dare try out these chairs? They look
Stay free.
less comfortable than they really are.
No walls divide you. You're free as a roaring tide, so there's no need to hide.
And this is my favourite room of the house.
Free, and life is worth living, but only worth living because you're.
Looks like there's something in there from 1982 as well. And conveniently, this chart allows me to show you where we are in relation to the rest of Kariba. And this little finger here. And of course, the main body of Kariba is a vast area, and this is probably showing only about 1/3 of the entire lake surface. Like so many large bodies of water in Africa, Lake Kariba is a lifeline to the people that live around it. Late last night, well into darkness, fishermen were working their nets, and even this morning at daybreak, fishermen are still at work. The road we're on now is long, twisty and lumpy. Brutal on tyres, on vehicles, on suspension, and we've got about 300 kilometres of it today. Our campsite tonight, again, a bit of an unknown, but we're making our way to the town of Kariba, where we'll be taking a boat onto the lake. And looks like somebody has a problem. Maybe we can ask them to see if there's a... Okay.
But this one, I think we have removed it with the hole. Yeah. This is where it was.
That's where it's leaking from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can plug that.
We can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it for you.
You are saying he knows how to.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's where we live.
You can.
Absolutely.
The big man.
Yeah, you need the strength.
Yeah.
This is a group of trainee builders and carpenters on their way to college, being driven by an NGO driver. Their 20-year-old Land Cruiser has suffered not one but 2 punctures.
It's tubeless, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our vehicles are supplied with a compressor and repair kits, so we should be in a good position to help them get going again.
Mm-hmm.
Tubeless repair
Repair kit.
kit. Okay. And sometimes you have to use more than one.
Or if it's the hole is too
If
big.
it's too big, yeah. So then I turn 90 degrees.
Man. Ah.
Okay, and I think we might have to put another one in there.
It's quite a big tear, and a single plug isn't going to seal it.
2 in there.
Have you removed?
That's 2 plugs.
Another one.
We're going to need to try and squeeze another one in. See if we can patch it. It's actually a split. It's not just a hole. It's actually a split. So I'm going to try another one. Take this bit.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Mhm.
We take the valve out.
This one is going to need a proper mushroom patch to be done from the inside, but for now, it'll get them to where they're going.
There we go. Should be good enough. Now you've made the valve tight? Did you put the valve back?
As for the second repair, it's better.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. Now we can get to sample one now.
Everyone is very happy, but for one thing.
It is broke. Mm-hmm.
Their jack just broke. As it happens, Paul to the rescue again.
Okay, here we go, guys. Here's a present for you. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We have two. So. All right. Right.
He just happens to be carrying a brand new Toyota Jack. It's a spare
What you
in
say?
his truck.
It's your trophy.
Yeah, it's
You win the match.
World Cup. Itu sudah right in his part. Okay.
Take a look at the timeline that I've just constructed, the video that you've just watched. The pink lines are where I've added a title that says the camera hasn't moved. Can you see the percentage there, the number of shots where the camera is static and where the camera has moved? And when I say static, I'm talking about a lot of those are handheld, so there is a little bit of movement, but I'm not changing my frame. The frame is remaining constant. It's a very common thing for new people who get hold of a camera, even those who have a lot of experience with still photography. They get hold of a camera, their same camera that they're using for stills, and now they're shooting videos and they think it's always got to move, and they keep tilting it. You've seen programs, you've seen a disaster on TV and there's a crash and there's a fire and somebody's got a phone and he's filming and he's doing this all the time. Come forward. You've seen it. It's because the brain says it's video, it's got to move. And the opposite is true. So when you're out filming, grabbing B-roll, find ways not to move the camera before moving the camera. The next lesson is going to be about why would we want to move a camera? Okay, so there's a lot of it, and I keep harping back on this whole thing about equipment and, you know, these trackers, these tracks that you can take a camera and do this beautiful move. Very clever. I don't own them. And the reason why I don't own them is, well, I would need to use a moving shot like that so infrequently. So what I'm going to share with you, why would you want to move the camera in the first place? And how does that help tell the story? Next time, coming up now.